Timeless astronomy practices paired with modern technology. East Highway 20 in Orchard and across Nebraska.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. The home of Kansas City Royals baseball. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet Eric Strickland.
Strickland for three! And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Brought to you by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Welcome to it on a hump day. Happy Wednesday to you and yours. I'm Austin Norman. He's the 9-year NBA vet, the Husker Hall of Famer, dropping some knowledge bombs on kids on Monday, but not the hammer. He didn't drop the hammer on
No.
kids.
It was good to him.
Yeah, so good to him. So good for him. That was a good time out there at the camp on Monday. We're here in studio again. Friday, though, we'll start our coverage up in Omaha. We'll be at the College World Series hanging out. So if you're up there, stop by. We're just about a block away from the stadium. Say hi to us. Let us know what's up. But if you want to say hi to us here today, the best way to do that is the Starter Heyman text line, 402-464-5685, to which I do have to send a thank you out to Thunder Not Collins. Thank you for being kind and respectful. Thunder Not Collins, I appreciate what you say. The rest of you, follow his example. Please be nice. That's all it comes down to. Strick, Mary Ellen's, good stuff. Back open today.
Always. It's always a phenomenal time to go into Mary Ellen's. I will find my way in there this week. It is open today. Go out there, 27th and Pine Lake, and have a taste of some greatness. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Go out there and get it. Say Charles. Let them know On the Block sent you, and enjoy.
Absolutely. First order of business here today is to dive into new coaches that schools may or may not enjoy in the realm of college football. This list was put out by 24/7. Brad Crawford was the one that put it out. He ranked the 10 most important hires, and there's some good Big Ten flavor on this list, Strick. Number 2, Brad Crawford puts Luke Fickell, the new head coach at Wisconsin. And at number 9, Phil Longo, the offensive coordinator hired away from North Carolina. Of course, Luke Fickell from Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing about these hires, Strick, is it's a marked departure from what Wisconsin's been. Smash mouth, power run, I formation, identity like that. It's a risky move, I think, to shake things up like that. But I also think it was a move made with a bigger picture in mind. How does Wisconsin take that next step in a soon-to-be divisionless Big Ten? So it's risky, but I think it was also a necessary type of move if Wisconsin wants to take the next step into the college football stratosphere.
I mean, it's these changes are, it just depends, right? Because sometimes it's going to depend on the culture. Sometimes it's going to depend on whether or not the coach feels the need as far as bringing in this, getting into a close relationship with like the head coach. I mean, those things are important because you really have to be an extension of them, but yet you still have to have your own identity. Obviously, they're hiring you because of what they want you to bring to the university. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, you still have to be on the same page. So how quickly can that happen? So I think sometimes sooner that these coaching turnovers happen, the better. I think the later that they happen, because you still have to identify with the players. You still have to get into a relationship with them. You probably have to sit down and have one-on-ones with them and then figure out what the best way of going about making this system work for what they need here and for what they have compared to what you had at your old school. So there's a lot of dynamics that I think plays into that. I mean, one of the things, obviously, you have, like, for example, Deion Sanders at 4, Hugh Freeze at 3, Luke Fickell. A lot of them are coming with what they do. And so you kind of have an idea of what they already do. And then it's just a matter of application to the players, getting them to buy in, and then allowing them to execute what you're trying to bring to the table. So sometimes I think head coaches are just an establishment of the culture, establishment of the style, establishment of the way of going about handling business. And then I think you get into some of the OCs and the DCs. Then it's about what type of players do I have? Do I have big bodies, little body speed? Then you kind of get into the little nuances of those types of details, and then decide on which way you're going to implement that. So I can't say specifically on which coach, because I think it matters when you're looking at, like, for example, it's good that Phil Longo and Luke Fickell, are hopefully trying to establish something. We know that Matt Rule's come. Whether or not his OCs, we just don't know. We don't know his OCs, DCs, what they're going to do, and how these other coaches are going to fill in and fill those voids. So it's hard to say.
I like what you said about the head coach versus what the coordinator's roles are. And even though it is such a big style shift for Wisconsin, Luke Fickell's about that business.
Yeah.
He's lived that Big Ten life with Ohio State before. He built Cincinnati into a really solid program, not just, a good team or two, but I think he set them on really stable ground. And I think that's huge for Wisconsin, because think about the other guy that was in the running for that job, and Jim Leonard.
Yeah.
Who's a Wisconsin lifer who played there, played in Green Bay for a while, was the defensive coordinator under Paul Chryst, really worked his way up the ranks, Strick. And a lot of players were Team Jim Leonard.
Yeah.
So this, to me, falls in the camp of the AD has to have a good relationship with the players too, to say, hey, trust me, this guy is going to be even better for you than the guy you thought you wanted to.
I mean, it's kind of like, you have a little snowball. I think the AD can help start the snowball down the mountain, right? You're hoping to get enough traction to where you just build this big boulder that's just going to run over the competition. Like, for example, I love what Longsker on the text line. Sutter Heyman text line is always open to you, 402-464-5685. You can always tap in there. Thank you, Longsker, for this question. Stricky and Austin, would you rather have or want a player that has a big heart or a big brain on that football field? I think I would love a combination, personally. I think a combination of both of those. Heart sometimes, let me say it like this. I think Terrell Farley is a tremendous football player with huge heart, which allowed him to be the type of player that he needed to be. Terrell Farley, see it, go get it. And he had the heart to do so, right? Then there's players that just don't have that, but they have the ability to pick up and read schemes and understand, route patterns or whatever the case may be. And they may be good at that, but they just may not have the heart. Like there's some guys that just don't have that grit and determination to just go out and win a one-on-one battle. You know what I mean? When that other guy looks you across the field and he says, oh yeah, tonight's not your night, that you say, yeah, I've got, not only am I smart to know what you're trying to do to me today, but I'm going to beat the brakes off of you in the midst of it. So I think a combination is needed.
I absolutely agree. I don't know if I could say it much better than that.
Yeah.
Because you need that heart, you need that determination, that grit, that will, that want to. But again, if you're not going to be in the right spot, what good does that do?
Part.
So you have to have I think if you start with the heart, you can work up to the brain. You can add knowledge up there. Whereas if you start as a robot, it's kind of hard to, put the heart in the Tin Man.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And I will say, I think in the past, Nebraska has had tremendous brain.
Nation leading academic All-Americans.
I mean, I think they knew what to do and where to be, but heart swarms. Like heart is like, there's 4 people in there and I'm going to be 5. right?
Mm-hmm.
Hart is like, okay, there's 3. He's still trying. Let me go in there and see if I can dig something out with risk of maybe my arm gets broken, finger gets snapped. I'm willing with my heart to put it on the line because I want to win.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm. You can never have enough of that.
In basketball, it would be first
on the floor.
I my tailbone's sore, but I'm still going to take this charge because I know I know what it's going to do for my team with this possession right here.
Mm-hmm.
And that's happened with me. I think I had a bruised tailbone and it hurt like hell, to fall, right?
Oh yeah.
But at the same time, I knew I needed a couple of these charges to help this team, and I can ice later, or I can sit in the cold bath later. You know what I mean? But I need to help this team, and I think that means something.
My hip's sore, but I'm still going to set a good pick.
Yeah.
My butt, my leg is, at a weird angle. My ankle's hurt, but I'm still going to get a body, box someone out. That goes so far.
Yeah.
And you got to be in position to do that. You got to know where to be and when to be.
Right.
But so many times, Strick, we see athletes in position with everything there on the line, and it slips away. They don't give their best effort on what turns out to be a key play.
Yeah.
And again, I think that's where the pain of regret hurts infinitely more than the pain of trying to make that play.
Yeah. No, there's no question. And one of the guys that I think just had one of the biggest hearts was Dennis Rodman. Like watching him play. Now, didn't always. I'm gonna skip and say I think Dennis was smarter than what we gave him credit for.
Savvy?
I think he was, bro. I actually think he played us to make us think that he was, not as smart as what he led on to be. But I digress.
He's a geopolitical savant.
Man, listen. In my time of playing in the league, we didn't make nearly the sizable salaries that they have today, right? So he found a way outside of basketball where it was a scoring game. Okay, I'm going to be the best in this area. Even at my size, I'm going to dominate on rebounds, but off the court, I'm going to market myself to the highest degree. And that's how I'm going to make up the difference on this money. You know what I mean? Because he's not sexy.
Don't tell him that.
Well, let him believe it, right? He's not on the court. He's not sexy.
No,
he's Tasmanian devil version of Jokic. Follow me.
Whoa. Okay.
Follow me.
Okay.
He's wild, right? Jokic is like, what would be a good character for Jokic?
Not the road. Kind of
Sylvester?
Maybe Sylvester.
Maybe Sylvester.
Maybe.
He's just kind of like, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Right? Ooh, sorry, Hammond text line. Holler at us. Who would be a good character? Who would be a good Disney? Not Disney. What is that?
Looney Tunes.
Looney Tunes. Who would be a good Looney Tune? If Rodman is the freaking Tasmanian devil, who would Jokic be? Because I really think they're very they have like similar ways about how they can be the best at what they do, but just in different ways of doing it.
All right, we got a pair of Salt Ducks tickets and a parking pass to give away. We're going to do that with a Dennis Rodman trivia question. We're going to do over-under. So, Strick, you're going to guess the number. Text line goes over-under, okay?
Shoot.
Dennis Rodman played 14 seasons in the NBA. How many times did he lead the league in rebounds per game?
Three.
Okay, over-under 3 text line. For his career, Dennis Rodman averaged 13 rebounds a game. Guess how many points per game?
6.
7. 7 points, 13 rebounds per game, and turned it into a Hall of Fame career. And again,
you guys are crazy.
And again, smarter than he lets on in some ways, but also, Stricky, I think that goes to what you've said. Dennis Rodman wasn't out there practicing jumpers. He wasn't out there practicing dribble combos. He was out there rebounding, practicing reading the ball off the rim. That's hard.
Yeah.
Let's see who's in first here. Longsker
Longster
you are
jumped in
the
on
winner.
it?
Yeah. It is over. So if
Seven.
you are able
Seven
to go
times.
to
7.
7.
I knew it.
Why didn't you go with
I
it
don't
then?
freaking know. I
Rick.
do that all the time, man.
Go with your gut.
I know, bro. I just said, dang, can't be that high.
He
It's just like, it can't be that high.
It was,
Hey, I thought you
7
were
years
trying
in
to
a
chip.
row, too.
I thought you were trying to trick me, bro. I really
Nah.
did. I thought you were going to throw
Nah.
one of them curveballs that they're about to see at the World Series this week.
I'm not about it.
Yeah, Stricky, I got it on the second round, but that's like in golf. We call that Bubba. You know, when you hit the shanker, or you hit the one into the woods, and then you get up and you freaking stroke it right down the middle of the fairway. The second one, we call that Bubba. I do a lot of Bubba in this game. I need to let you let me be Bubba when we play Shootout with Strick. I get one guess, but I get a Bubba guess.
I'll give you that for the name you have to pull yourself. How about that?
Oh,
How about that?
Oh man. Oh, we gotta talk
Deal
about
or
that
no
anyway.
deal?
We gotta talk about that.
Okay. Back on, there's something I saw on the text line here. Some people are saying Foghorn Leghorn is the Jokic equivalent.
Ooh. Okay. Somebody said the Pink Panther.
We're good.
That's pretty
Look
good.
at us.
I can pretty much see that. I can see that. The Pink Panther is a good one.
Okay, I found it. On the text line, someone asks, should Wisconsin be scared? Wisconsin fans, should they be scared that Wisconsin is doing the same thing that Nebraska did in terms of abandoning, the run first kind of mentality, spreading it all out? I would say this, Strick. I think Wisconsin got an adult in the room. I don't think as much of what Nebraska did was on the field. It feels like it was more off the field. I think Luke Fickell's about business, and I think that goes a long way.
I just think the landscape is changing. I think it's a needed part of the game, the run game. I mean, you see that with Michigan, but then you see when it comes down to it, you still got to be able to win one-on-one battles on the outside. You see when you just spread it out, i.e. Ohio State-ish, it doesn't always mean that you're going to win the big game. I think there's a good balance. You can have a good balance of the run in the pass game that when you need to move that clock, that that my guys in the trenches can win this battle, right? I think on the same token, if you're soft in the middle, like the Pillsbury Doughboy of some of these interior linemen, then you're going to ultimately lose out, because now, especially with the rule change, with the new rule change, when you're not able to the clock is not stopping like it used to stop, you're going to need to be able to, when you have leads, to be able to put that ball either with winning battles, or you're going to have to be able to run that ball. And so I think there's a combination that's needed.
Augie, the other thing about that is, thanks for the question, Phil Longo isn't anti-running the ball. I mean, he's had fantastic quarterbacks from Sam Howell and Drake May the last few years, but 2020 season, he had two fantastic running backs, and Javonte Williams and Michael Carter. Both of those dudes rushed for 1,100 yards. He's not afraid to put the ball in the running back's hands, and Braylon Allen might be better than either of those guys. So I think Wisconsin will still run the ball. It's just going to look a little different.
Yeah. It's not going to be your traditional two tight end, two wide out, run off the tackles. It's going to be probably some sophistication in the run game, probably.
Absolutely. Rounding out that list of coaches, Garrett Riley was the OC hire from Clemson. He was at TCU last year. He's ranked as the number 1 coaching hire. You mentioned Freeze and Dion at 3 and 4. Jeff Brom going from Purdue to Louisville back to his alma mater is the top 5. He does have Matt Rule in there at number 6, followed by Tommy Rees, hired away by Alabama from Notre Dame to be the OC. Jamie Chadwell.
It's a good one, I think.
Tommy Rees. We'll dive into that a little bit.
I think that's solid for Alabama, especially after what they, just lost. I think that was pretty good to be able to pull him in.
You bring a quarterback over too, and Tyler Buchner. We'll see what that ends out to be. Jamie Chadwell jumping from Coastal Carolina over to Liberty, and then Charles Kelly hired by Dion to be the DC rounds out that list. Good stuff there in first segment here on the block. We're going to step aside. When we get back, we'll have Evan Bland on the line. Talk some College World Series. Talk some Husker headlines. Appreciate Evan and his insight. We'll talk to him here in just a little bit.
Generation V.
Opening a new location at 27th and Superior.
Generation V.
Join us this Saturday during our grand opening sale. Everything is buy one, get one free. Mix and match between Vape, Delta 8, and Kratom, or buy two of your favorites for the price of one. Buy one Elf Bar disposable, get one free. Buy premium THCA flower, get a free glass pipe. You decide what to BOGO this Saturday.
Generation V.
Don't miss the grand opening sale this Saturday at 27th and Superior in Lincoln. Generation V.com. E-cigs contain nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Herrick Services takes this time to wish all the dads out there a happy Father's Day. We hope that everyone is able to show how much they care for and respect the dads in their life for this weekend especially, but in everyday life too. This important message comes to you from Bart, Mike, and the folks at Herrick Services, your vending specialists here in Lincoln. Their quality service and expertise has earned them a fine reputation. That's Herrick Services, on the air because they care.
Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Smoked meats, amazing sides. The only problem when they fix you a plate is that at some point, that plate will be empty. But hear me out. What if that plate was never empty? That dream can be your reality with the Mary Ellen's Express Lunch Buffet. From 11 to 2 every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and even Saturday. One price, all you can eat, and it even comes with a drink. Tell your boss you're taking a long lunch and get down there. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul at 29th and Pine Lake. Let them fix you a plate.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Getting experience to jumpstart a meaningful career can be difficult, and education can cost a fortune. Luckily, AmeriCorps can be the solution. With AmeriCorps, you'll earn a stipend and education award while helping people. Plus, you'll gain professional skills and make connections to help you build your career. If you're ready to start a career you can be proud of, visit serve.nebraska.gov/service to find a program for you. Paid for by Serve Nebraska, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Plains Cover Crop is your one-stop seed shop. Call us now for spring and summer forages, CRP mixes, and fall cover crop blends. We do farm-specific consulting for practical and efficient seed blends to fit your geography and goals. With a very diverse inventory, we will tailor a blend just for you. We're also looking for contract growers, and we buy and sell rye. Find us online at plainscovercrop.com. Timeless agronomy practices paired with modern technology. East Highway 20 in Orchard and across Nebraska.
The Southern Pecan Cake from Beatrice Bakery. They don't just let you call anything Southern, especially when it's baked right here in Nebraska. There are standards you have to meet, like a rich, decadent, moist caramel cake? Check. Bursting with too many large pecans to count? Check. Big enough to share with the whole group? Check. But delicious enough that you won't want to share? A big check on that one. The Southern Pecan Cake, the newest cake to the Beatrice Bakery lineup. Try it for yourself at Beatrice Bakery. Online at beatricebakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum. Motor Food is Lincoln's hardest rocking food truck and cafe. Motor Food creates old school comfort food with a 21st century twist and lots of rock and roll attitude. Try the barbecue pulled pork mac and cheese, the grilled chicken Firebird sandwich, a 100% all beef split grilled hot dog, and any version of their funky fries. Stop by the cafe just behind Outback Steakhouse on 48th Street or catch the food truck out and about all spring and summer. Check out their menu, order carry out, or schedule a catering at motorfoodtruck.com.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Allo is here to give you the FYI. Are your shows buffering? We know why. Are your games lagging? Don't deny. Your work calls dropping? Here's the FYI. Your old school internet company can't keep up. They give it a try. Their network isn't enough. Don't get trapped in their gimmicks and lies. It's time to fiber your internet with Allo. Honest, local, and hassle-free is what we stand by. Experience Allo Internet. Visit allofiber.com/FYI.
Hey, CNC machinists, do you feel like you're in a dead-end job with your boss hovering over your shoulder? That's so annoying. Not at Garner Industries. We provide the opportunity and trust our CNC machinists to bring the talent. I'm Bob Williams, HR Director at Garner Industries, and we're looking for new team members in our CNC department. At Garner Industries, you'll work in a clean, climate-controlled, and safe environment with team members who want to see you succeed. You will also enjoy 4-day work weeks, great benefits, and a positive working culture. Interested? Apply on our career page at garnerindustries.com.
The Ticket Water Cooler.
I feel like sometimes when we have Hall of Fames, and this is no disrespect to Frank or Gary Pinkel, who got in last year, the longtime Missouri coach. Shouldn't there be a different Hall of Fame for like Gary Pinkel and Frank Solich
like
and
the Hall of
Tom Osborne
the
and Bob,
Hall of
Bobby
really
yeah,
good.
Right. But what, like you said, the distinction usually is first ballot,
Yep.
or unanimous or whatever. So that's usually kind of the distinction that you can make there.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
That's right. We're back here on the block. Off and rolling here on a Wednesday. We go to the Allo VIP line. For 20 years, Allo has been disrupting the telecom game, providing meaningful connections, supporting businesses, and future-proofing communities. Switch to a reliable and buffer-free provider today at allofiber.com or call 402-480-6550. On the Allo Fiber hotline, we bring in Evan Bland of the Omaha World Herald. Evan, happy College World Series week. How's it going?
Happy College World Series week. Yeah, the sun's out, the weather's nice, and the baseballs are about to fly. It's all good.
That it is. Plenty of rain in the forecast because we couldn't have a College World Series without at least some of that getting interrupted. What are your thoughts on the two brackets, sir? We'll start with the Oral Roberts, TCU, and Virginia, Florida side first. What do you make of those four teams?
I mean, I think you have a little bit of everything. I mean, you have, if you're looking for like high-end future major league talent, you have Florida with a guy like Jack Caglione, who leads the nation in home runs. They have, their entire rotation can touch like 97, 98 on the radar gun. You've got a team like Virginia that's maybe one of the most balanced and deeper teams in the field that's been here in Omaha a couple of years ago. And then you've got, if you're looking for the underdog instead, you've got Oral Roberts, which is the 4 seed, first one back in the CWS field since Stony Brook in 2012. And you've got TCU, which sort of went under the radar a little bit as a 2 seed out of the Big 12. And they have some really fun pieces in terms of their starters and some of their best hitters as well. So, the first one will be really interesting because Oral Roberts or TCU is going to start 1-0 in Omaha. And then, you're in a really interesting spot in that winner's bracket game. And I think on the other side, Virginia and Florida have been playing about as well as, anybody in the field. Virginia had to scrap back and win 2 elimination games against Duke in the Supers last weekend. Florida had to come through the elimination side in its own regional. So those are 2 teams that were on the brink. And they all seem really balanced on paper. Should be a lot of fun.
The other side of the bracket is Star Power, Star Power, Star Power, and Star Power. 4 preseason top 10 teams, Wake Forest and Stanford, LSU and Tennessee. Is that the side of the bracket you think the champion comes from just because of where those teams were ranked in the preseason and their talent?
You could certainly make that case pretty easily. LSU was the preseason number 1. They're very likely to have, if not the top 2 picks in the Major League Draft next month, 2 of the top 3 in Dylan Cruz, the outfielder, and Paul Skeens, who could probably pitch in a Major League Baseball game today if he had to and probably be able to hold his own. So, they've got the top end star power for sure. Wake Forest sort of assumed that number 1 mantle midway through the season, and they've really done nothing to change anybody's mind about that. They've just dominated in the NCAA tournament to this point. Offensively, pitching wise, they seem like they're a complete team, and they're looking to break that streak of number 1 overall seeds winning the thing. I think you got to go back to Miami in '99, the first season that the tournament expanded to 64 teams, that a team was seeded 1 and went the distance. So we'll see if Wake, has any maybe bright eyes as it makes its first appearance in Omaha since 1955. I think that's maybe the only thing that can hold them back at this point. And Stanford they were part of probably the craziest super regional win of the weekend, undoubtedly, when Texas lost a ball in the twilight and they were able to walk that thing off on Monday night. And then Tennessee, I think they're kind of the post-hype sleepers of the field, where, a year ago they were the number 1 overall national seed and they didn't make Omaha. They lost in the supers to Notre Dame, and I think they've been chapped by that in the last year. So that's another fan base that's going to be excited to be back into Omaha. And I think we're going to know from just the sheer number of people and the decibel level at these games when Tennessee and LSU are playing Saturday night.
As I look at the field, Evan, it looks like a pretty likable bunch of teams. I find it hard to pick out a villain, but also equally hard to pick out, a fan favorite that Omaha neutral fans will grab onto. Do you have any leans either way for any of those teams?
Well, typically Omaha locals tend to back the underdog, and so there is a clear one in Oral Roberts. They're a great story out of the Summit League, obviously the same league that Omaha plays in, the Mavs, and so they're maybe a little bit familiar with them. But I think that's a fun story. Their coach, Ryan Fulmar, was a player in the College World Series. He was a catcher at Oklahoma State, and I think it was 1996. He was, as recently as like 20 years ago, was a color voice on the Oklahoma State baseball radio broadcasts. So that's a pretty cool story, and how far they've come. So I think that's a pretty easy one. But LSU is going to have a major backing. That fan base is in Omaha every year anyway. You can go into a parking lot and see them tailgating even when the Tigers aren't there, and they haven't been here since 2017. So I think you're certainly going to hear a level of support from them. In terms of a villain, I could see Tennessee maybe assuming that role at some point. They probably are the most brash of the bunch. Their coach, Tony Vitello's a fiery guy. He wears his emotions on his sleeve, and the players are the same way. Chase Burns, one of their relievers, the other night hits 102 on the radar gun against Southern Miss, and essentially tap danced off the mound, firing up his guys. So, I think there's some potential there, and that's good for the game too. But overall, like you said, it's star power. It's teams that won a lot of games in the regular season. And, ultimately, I think what it could come down to is who's the deepest, because there's so much high end talent on all of these squads. What does it look like when you get to that, fourth game in 6 days, and you need a starter? Who has the depth at that point? Who can slug their way to a victory? And I think ultimately that might make the difference in who ends up in that title series.
I believe you and Sam previewed the College World Series recently, didn't you?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, so go check that out. I won't spoil your picks. I won't steal that from you. So if you want Evan's picks, go check that out on the World Herald. Also on the World Herald, Evan, you wrote about Rob Childress being named Nebraska's next pitching coach. That's, I think, a good step in the right direction for Nebraska, kind of a no-brainer in-house move. What can you tell us, though, about the other guy that's new to the staff officially, and Mike Sirianni from Wichita State?
Yeah, sort of gets lost a little bit in the Rob Childress news, which is certainly significant in its own right. But yeah, Mike Sirianni had a chance to meet him today as part of his media availability at Haymarket, and just a really personable guy. Spent the last few seasons as an assistant and recruiting coordinator at Wichita State. They've subsequently had a couple of their former commits on the pitching side commit to Nebraska. And this is a guy, even just talking with him for a few minutes, who loves recruiting, loves getting on the road, loves to build those connections, identify talent. They're looking for speed. They're looking for power, versatility. It's similar to what Nebraska's looked at before, but this is a guy who just likes to beat the bushes and find those guys. I thought it was kind of funny hearing him talk about how Will Bolt has been sort of maybe a mentor to him, or someone he's looked up to in the industry. And over the years, he's found himself crossing paths with Will Bolt when they're recruiting the same players. So I think his arrival in Nebraska was really based strongly on the staff that's here with Will Bolt and Rob Childress and Lance Harvell, and the chance to get after it in that regard. But a lot of the duties that maybe he'll have down the road are still yet to be determined. I mean, he's going to coach infielders, work with hitters, but in terms of some of the other day-to-day stuff that he'll have going forward, he's still working that out because they're so locked in on recruiting and building out the rest of this class for the 2024 team next year. So by all accounts, somebody who's really big on talent acquisition, who himself was a pretty decent baseball player. He played at Creighton and Arkansas State back in the mid 2000s. And so, yeah, Nebraska was able to add that third paid assistant, and they didn't really waste any time in identifying a guy like Mike Sirianni, whose brother, Jay Sirianni, used to play at Nebraska back in the late 90s too.
Maybe you could get a read on this. Maybe you couldn't. Maybe we just have to trust Will Bolt on this. But Mike Sirianni is all in on Nebraska, right? Not some sort of Creighton double agent.
Well, they'd be playing the long game on that one, probably.
Fair enough. The other thing I want to get your thoughts on, Evan, is NBA related. The Spurs sent people overseas to check in on Victor Wembanyama, get some more information on him. Seems like that's where the Spurs are headed with the number one pick, which is good. Are there any players or types of players that you want to see San Antonio, amplify Victor Wembanyama with?
Well, I mean, that's part of what makes it such a no-brainer addition or to draft him number one overall. It's not just because he's a generational talent and 7'5" and can do everything, but because the Spurs actually have had guys on their roster who are going to be better complementary pieces, guys who are who can hit the three, who can defend on the wing, and what they've lacked is that guy in the middle, that rim presence, somebody who can stretch the floor from that 4 or 5 position. And by all accounts, that's what Victor Wembanyama can do. Maybe not fully realizing his potential in his rookie year, but I think that's where you start. And so it's a lot easier to find a lot of those complementary pieces on the perimeter when you've got your big man and star player on the inside. So there's probably a little bit of retooling to be done. Maybe you still want another shooter or defensive specialist or something like that. But, those players are a lot easier to come by and a lot more affordable, quite honestly, than what, the number one overall pick's going to be. So to me, next year is about getting him settled into the league, starting to figure out what system you want, and you get a clearer sense of how you're going to build around that moving forward as the Spurs, improbably, have another franchise big man to build around moving forward.
A guy that came up between Strick and I last segment was Dennis Rodman, who spent a couple of years in San Antonio. Would you take another Dennis Rodman type around Wembanyama?
Sure. Oh, yeah. I mean, everyone remembers Dennis from his time with the Bulls and the hair and the tattoos and everything, but he was the same guy who did all the dirty work in San Antonio, wasn't afraid to scrap for rebounds, wasn't always looking for a shot. In fact, was actively deferring to his teammates. And so, yeah, I mean, a guy like that on every team who's sort of the glue guy, the enforcer, the guy who has the backs of his teammates, those guys are extremely valuable, even if it doesn't always show up in the stat sheet. So yeah, give me, mid 90s Dennis Rodman on these Spurs any day.
I think you have the hair part of that figured out with Jeremy Sohan. He's the way that dude dyes his hair, he's at least got that little bit of worm in him.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, you got to have a little bit of that, don't care, you do you sort of thing. And that just translates out into everything else. So yeah, I mean, a little bit of that attitude. You still got Pop there as the coach who, is probably one of the few coaches in the league that just instantly demands your respect because of what he's done and who he's coached. And, I still think when you talk about building a culture around Victor Wembanyama, I mean, how great is it that on speed dial you can call Tim Duncan, who was the number one overall pick himself in '97, or you can call Tony Parker, who came over from France, just where Victor is now, and you have those guys as resources. I mean, it's just it sets them up so well for success. I mean, it doesn't guarantee anything, but man, it feels like that there couldn't have been a better landing spot than San Antonio.
He's Evan Bland with us here on the Allo VIP land. Evan, appreciate your time as always. Enjoy the College World Series. We'll look forward to reading your coverage and talking again next week.
Sounds great, Austin. Thanks.
Evan was with us on the Allo VIP line. Allo has been creating, connecting, and serving gigabit communities for 20 years. Lincoln, say Allo to the power of fiber and take your internet, TV, and phone to the next level with Allo Fiber. You can switch today at allofiber.com or call 402-480-6550. We'll take a break here. We'll welcome Strick back into the studio. He's a busy man, lots going on. He let me handle Evan. So we'll take a break, bring Strick back, wrap up Hour 1 on the block next.
Tailored Life is now open in Bennett. Make the short drive down Highway 2 for tons of items for your home, for both indoors and outdoors. Check out their variety of potted trees, shrubs, vines, perennials, and colorful annuals. Plus, porch pots and landscape lighting to enhance the outside of your home. Don't forget their home goods for indoors, plus convenient drinks and snacks, most which are produced locally. Visit Tailored Life today in Bennett and stay tuned to their Facebook page at Tailored Life 360 for food truck events coming up.
Getting experience to jumpstart a meaningful career can be difficult, and education can cost a fortune. Luckily, AmeriCorps can be the solution. With AmeriCorps, you'll earn a stipend and education award while helping people. Plus, you'll gain professional skills and make connections to help you build your career. If you're ready to start a career you can be proud of, visit serve.nebraska.gov/service to find a program for you. Paid for by Serve Nebraska, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. It doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
You've driven by GE Landscape Supply countless times, likely without even knowing, at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. Now it's time to stop in. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction materials. They sell in bulk to save you money, and you can buy anything from a 5-gallon bucket to a semi-load. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere. Stop by 6701 Cornhusker Highway from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday and 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturdays. Go to GELandscapeSupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627.
The weather is hot, the kids are out of school, and you're on your way to the lake and summer road trips. Are you getting to your vacation spot comfortably, or is your car letting you down? Mullen Motors Lot is full of great vehicles to take home, so you don't have to worry about your current car barely surviving another road trip. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride for summer road trips and beyond. Mullen Motors.
No tag-ons, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Hi, this is Becky from Midwest Bank, and our team is here for you. From our friendly staff to our innovative products to our online banking and mobile app, all of our services are designed with you in mind. We'll help you open a checking account, apply for a loan, open a credit card, or start saving for the future. We do it all. We're your local community bank, a trusted partner that's here to serve you. Your community, your bank. Midwest Bank. Learn more at midwestbank.com. Member FDIC.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Looking for a financial partner that truly makes a difference?
Modern Woodman is a member-owned fraternal financial services organization. We can help you plan for all stages of life, from protection to saving to retirement. We also offer member benefits, social activities, and volunteer opportunities to help your family and community.
I'm Sean Erickson, your Modern Woodman representative in Lincoln. Call me at 402-483-6515 to start the conversation.
Modern Woodman of America, touching lives, securing futures.
Heartland International in Lincoln reminds us that people today are facing more hardships than ever before. It's becoming all too common to hear that someone has become so desperate that they've taken their own life. People almost always warn those close to them that desperation is near. Be a shoulder to lean on and insist that they seek professional help. This message from Dennis and Penny Nunn at Heartland International in Lincoln, marketing quality products since 1974. Visit heartlandinternational.com. We're stronger when we help one another.
Hey, CNC machinists, do you feel like you're in a dead-end job with your boss hovering over your shoulder? That's so annoying. Not at Garner Industries. We provide the opportunity and trust our CNC machinists to bring the talent. I'm Bob Williams, HR Director at Garner Industries, and we're looking for new team members in our CNC department. At Garner Industries, you'll work in a clean, climate-controlled, and safe environment with team members who want to see you succeed. You will also enjoy 4-day work weeks, great benefits, and a positive working culture. Interested? Apply on our career page at garnerindustries.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Sunny and warm for our Wednesday. We'll see a high of around 88. Winds will be light and somewhat variable. Mainly clear tonight, a low down to around 60. We will heat up even more as we get into our Thursday. Sunny, a light south wind at around 10 and a high of 93. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Short segment here to wrap up hour one of On the Block. Austin Norman, Eric Strickland with you. Again, big thanks to Evan Blaine for stopping by, chatting a wide range of things. Strick, a little trivia for you today.
Yay.
I'm not going to ask you, I'm just going to tell you. Two of my favorite athletes, current, share a birthday that is today. Rowan Barrett Jr. and Bobby Witt Jr.
Oh, okay. Bobby Witt.
Mm-hmm. You will hear Bobby Witt and the Royals on the radio station tonight, taking on the Cincinnati Reds, third game of that series. I bring this up, Strick, because Bobby Witt is one of, where to go? He is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's the 8th player ever to have 30 home runs and 50 stolen bases before his 23rd birthday. You hear that, you think, pretty good. That's a star, right? Here's the problem with Bobby Witt Jr. He is a below average player. He has 30 homers. He has 50 steals before he's 23, which is super young, and yet he's still below average. He stinks for one reason. One reason why. He doesn't know what a strike is.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't know what a strike
everywhere.
is. Yeah. And the frustrating part is he was asked yesterday about that. Does he want to walk more or anything about that? He said, if I see a good pitch, I'm going to swing at it. He doesn't know what a good pitch is.
Right.
What was that process like for you, learning what's a good pitch, learning what your, strike zone was, where you could handle pitches and actually do damage?
I mean, for me, first of all, you look for one of the things you wanted to do is the pitches that you were weak at, you try to stay away from them unless you have to fight off, right? So the goal is always to get ahead. If they're giving you something in the zone that's your best pitch, which if you're a fastball hitter, you like it low and inside, you like it in the middle, you like it up and in, wherever you like. If you see that thing coming outside of it rising on you and getting up in the chin check music, or you're going to strike at it, right? If they're throwing early change ups and stuff that's dropping away from you, you just stay away from it. If he throws a strike, okay, good. You got me. I'm staying away from sliders and everything, dropping in on my hands early, So you try to get ahead, because then you can estimate, okay, they know I'm this type of hitter. They're going to throw probably a fastball away. Look for it. If you see it, you better hit it. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of the mentality you would take. If you get the pitch, is coming, you better be on it.
The simple thing to do in a lot of cases is swing less, right? If you're not sure if it's your pitch, just don't swing.
Mm-hmm.
How hard is it to not swing if
Stand
it looks
back.
good?
It's like if you're out on your front, you're usually gonna jump, right? So the key whenever I was batting is, for the most part, just try to stay back
on that left leg for you as a lefty.
The longer
Post
you
up.
can stay back, even if you got a high stride kick, like if you got a high drop kick or you've got a long stride, even if you've got that, once that foot plants, you still want to make sure you're back, because if you get tricked or you catch him slipping on like a hanging curve or something, then you're in trouble. You know what I mean? But if you're out ahead of it, there's nothing you can do with that ball. So that's the key to seeing good pitches, being able to pause on them, and then just being active. If anything's close, you just want to try to put bat to ball, foul it off or something, and that keeps you out of strikeouts.
Where was the danger zone? Pitchers didn't want to throw it there against Strick.
Man, middle end, low.
Okay.
Because I was a drive ball hitter. If you got it up high on me, up and in, it's tough to get my hands through, but
tough for anyone.
I can drop down on that thing. If you got it low and in, it was trouble. It was going in the gap somewhere.
The other guy whose birthday it is, RJ Barrett. Have you seen enough from him to think he can be an all-star, or is he just a role guy?
I think he's just going to be probably a solid 2. Not
Second
just
option?
2 players, solid 2 option.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he's a solid 2 option. Until he really begins to show me more counters to his game. He's very just strong left dominant. He's very there's only really a few players that I remember playing against that you knew what they were going to do, and just there's nothing you could do about it. One of those guys is Clyde Drexler.
He was all right, wasn't he?
You knew Clyde was there was nothing. He was doing nothing with that left hand. He was doing everything right-handed, but there was just one of those guys that just couldn't do anything about it. So there's certain guys like that. RJ Barrett is not Clyde. No. The game is a lot different, but he's good at what he does, and so he has great capabilities. And there's a few other guys that were just, I can't think of them right now. There's one, I just see him in my head. I just can't put it all together. But
what team?
Oh man.
We can work through this. What team? What position?
Like Keon Clark.
Okay.
You probably won't remember him.
I'm gonna look him up real quick.
Keon Clark was one of those type of guys. Who else? I'll have to really think about that. But there are certain guys that were just like that. You knew what they were gonna do, and it was tough.
Well, Shaq only had one move, and it was run you over.
Shaq was going to Debo you, and there's nothing you can do about it. Just take it. Take that.
Did you ever give it back to Shaq? Did you ever get a chance?
Negative. There's nothing you can give back to Shaq for me at my size. My only thing is, I remember there was one time where I dropped on a dig, and I literally palmed the ball.
Timed it perfect, hand on ball, everything.
And it didn't move.
Oh boy.
I was and I'm aggressive. I'm 220 strong, and I'm like, and he was just like, and went just through me.
Oh boy.
I was like, God, you got to be freaking kidding me. I just knew that was mine.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, we going the other way with this one. I was perfectly timed. Boom, I palm it. It doesn't move. He just goes right through me and shoots his little jump hook. Yeah.
Different.
He's different.
That's nuts. Good stuff in hour one here on the block. Let's take a break. When we get back, Oakland A's fans pulled off the rare reverse boycott. What all went into it? What's the reason? What's going on behind the scenes? Maybe a little more Royals talk as well. And then some NBA trade rumors. It's that season. We're close to the draft, 8 days away. And believe it or not, stars want somewhere else to be. So we'll talk about that and more as we continue here, hour two on the block.
Allo is here to give you the FYI. Are your shows buffering? We know why. Are your games lagging? Don't deny. Your work calls dropping? Here's the FYI. Your old school internet company can't keep up. They give it a try. Their network isn't enough. Don't get trapped in their gimmicks and lies. It's time to fiber your internet with Allo. Honest, local, and hassle-free is what we stand by. Experience Allo Internet. Visit allofiber.com/FYI.
Guys, it's that time again. Another 10-week challenge at Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping is starting on July 8th. I joined Farrell's a little over a year ago, and with their help, I've lost over 125 pounds and can confidently say I'm in the best shape of my life. The 10-week challenge combines kickboxing, strength training, and nutrition coaching in a way that is approachable and achievable for any skill level. And ticket listeners, you can get $150 off the cost of enrollment. Head to theticketfm.com and click on the banner on the homepage to learn more. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping at 70th and Vine or 40th and Yankee Hill.
Looking for a financial partner that truly makes a difference? Modern Woodman is a member-owned fraternal financial services organization. We can help you plan for all stages of life, from protection to saving to retirement. We also offer member benefits, social activities, and volunteer opportunities to help your family and community.
I'm Sean Erickson, your Modern Woodman representative in Lincoln. Call me at 402-483-6515 to start the conversation.
Modern Woodman of America, touching lives, securing futures.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 10th and P or at 1501 Center Park Road.
Problem gambling can destroy an individual's finances, relationships, physical, and mental health. If you are a loved one or struggling with addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center's 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300. That's 402-476-2300.
The weather is hot, the kids are out of school, and you're on your way to the lake and summer road trips. Are you getting to your vacation spot comfortably, or is your car letting you down? Mullen Motors Lot is full of great vehicles to take home, so you don't have to worry about your current car barely surviving another road trip. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride for summer road trips and beyond. Mullen Motors.
No tag-ons, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Attention all Wings fans! 89-cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for boneless or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 tall boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Sunny and warm for our Wednesday. We'll see a high of around 88. Winds will be light and somewhat variable. Mainly clear tonight, a low down to around 60. We will heat up even more as we get into our Thursday. Sunny, a light south wind at around 10 and a high of 93. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Junior Achievement of Lincoln inspires and prepares young people for success. Learn more about the people involved in the organization and the success stories over the years each Thursday from 7 to 8 p.m. for the Junior Achievement Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
If you're interested in installing solar panels in Nebraska, there's a name you need to know. Solar by Alpine Electric is based out of Lincoln, and you can be sure your project will be handled with care and detail because Rick, the owner of Solar by Alpine Electric, will be involved in the entire process from start to finish. We're an REC Solar Certified Pro installer and handle jobs in Lincoln and the surrounding area. Let us show you real-time results in your area. Call Rick today at 402-440-4371. Solar by Alpine Electric.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. The home of Kansas City Royals baseball. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
You've driven by GE Landscape Supply countless times, likely without even knowing, at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. Now it's time to stop in. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction materials. They sell in bulk to save you money, and you can buy anything from a 5-gallon bucket to a semi-load. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere. Stop by 6701 Cornhusker Highway from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday and 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturdays. Go to GELandscapeSupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627.
Getting experience to jumpstart a meaningful career can be difficult, and education can cost a fortune. Luckily, AmeriCorps can be the solution. With AmeriCorps, you'll earn a stipend and education award while helping people. Plus, you'll gain professional skills and make connections to help you build your career. If you're ready to start a career you can be proud of, visit serve.nebraska.gov/service to find a program for you. Paid for by Serve Nebraska, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland.
Strickland for three! And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Brought to you by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
It is On the Block with Strick and Austin. How did you know? Thank you for joining us. This is the second hour of On the Block. Me, Strick and Austin in the building. Listen, man, we're talking a little bit of baseball right now. I want to know, do you think what's going on in Oakland is justified, needed, or are we just kind of, talking smoke in the wind? Should they stay and just stay in the doldrums of what's become Oakland sports outside of Golden State? And then Golden State's not even Oakland no more.
They try to claim it, but they're not there.
Yeah, so what's going on right now is we're going to talk a little bit about the revert. Now, I this is why I want to really talk about it, because I don't understand it. I'm still kind of trying to figure out, how do you do a reverse boycott? And because that's a new one to me. I mean, I've heard of boycotts and you just don't show up and you're just like, hey, we're definitely not touching anything regarding this product. But at the end of the day, Oakland A's fans reverse boycott once they found out that Vegas has approved a deal for a stadium that they're going to try and, going to be moving over there to Vegas to get it done for the A's. What are they going to be called? The Vegas A's?
I would assume so. Well, think about this. It wouldn't be the first time the Athletics franchise has moved. Started in Philadelphia, moved to Kansas City, packed up to Oakland.
Boy, you're a savant of history.
I do my research.
Because I'm going to tell you, I had no clue they were ever in Kansas City.
Yeah. They were there until
Kansas City A's.
Yeah. They moved out of Philadelphia. 54 was their last season there. They were in Kansas City from 55 to 67.
Yeah.
And then a couple of years later, Royals pop up.
So tell me this, Austin, is Vegas the new hotspot for athletics? Is basketball next?
Man, I don't know. It's clearly the new hotspot. I don't think that's debatable.
Yeah.
I mean, you see Oakland already lose one team to Vegas with the Raiders.
Yeah.
So they up and left. The Aces, I think they were in San Antonio before. I want to say they pack up. They moved to Vegas. Pac-12 tournament being held in Vegas now. The little deal between UCLA, Kentucky, Indiana, and North Carolina men's basketball being held in Vegas now.
Yeah.
It's only a matter of time until there's a Super Bowl there. So it's clearly the new hot spot. NBA, it could be next. They have the facilities for it. I mean, they already do summer league out there.
Yeah, the T-Mobile Center is a pretty nice little arena.
Give me Seattle first. I'm partial to that. I mean, given they had the Sonics, I think Seattle would welcome them back. You see how the Kraken did when they started up in hockey. And I know people that lived in Seattle. They deserve to have their team back. So Vegas is definitely on the list, but I don't want it to be next for the NBA.
Could you imagine? Just picture this. Could you imagine a weekend up in Vegas where you have a UFC fight, a boxing match, a basketball game, and a football game all going on right there? You thought the Strip was packed when you just go in there to kind of kick it, hang out, have a few cocktails. Lou, the funniest thing is, let me tell you this real quick before I let you answer that. The funniest thing is when you see the people with their bags and they're either kicked out of the room, or their flights are, and it looks like they lost all their money. So they're walking around with their bags on the strip, and it's like you wonder, like, did you freaking lose all your money? Did you get kicked out? Were you not able to pay the bill? What is going on? Or is it just your flight's late? Those are some of the funny things that I see about Vegas when I go. But
is it hard to tell?
Thought? It's hard to tell because sometimes they have that look on their face, like they look just like either they're sleepy tired because they've been tossing them back, to the break of dawn, or they're just like, I can't believe I was up 1,400, and gosh dang it, I gave it all back and lost 1,400. So I can't tell if it's that look on their face or is anyway. It's just a thought.
I can't imagine that. I don't know what kind of transformation would have to go underway for the UFC to boxing, because those want their own night. So I assume it would be basketball.
There's something going on, like a duel. They got the Bud Crawford fight, and I think a UFC. One of those, 855s or whatever. I mean, they're almost
never
at 300
keeps climbing.
Yeah, they keep climbing. I think they're going on at the same time. There's a UFC. There's a major UFC fight and freaking the Bud Crawford and Errol Spence fight going on at the same time.
Because I can only assume the UFC fight was scheduled before Bud and Spence, so that's a huge bet on them to draw those eyeballs and those numbers. I wouldn't be shocked if UFC moves that.
You think?
Do you really want to compete with Crawford Spence?
Boy, I mean, the city's like, let's do it.
Well,
city's like, let's do it. You think about how much money they're gonna freaking make if that goes down.
I'm not saying move weekends. I'm saying move it the day before, day after.
Oh, you're probably right.
Yeah, shift it. Maybe not move it. How about that?
You're probably right.
Because
I'm gonna keep my eye on that. Keep your eye on that. Let me know how that goes, because I'm interested. Because I really would wonder, how that is, because I look at certain stadium layouts, like for example in Philly or in New York and different, where they have them, right next to each other, like where the basketball arena is literally right next. Like, do they try to schedule it to where they're all? But I could only imagine how crazy it would be. Parking, just the headache. It's already a headache trying to get into a stadium. I went to the New York Giants game last year when they played the Cowboys. And it was a headache just trying to get into the freaking parking lot, and all of the everybody was tailgating, and the best thing probably to do was to get an Uber, but then even that, getting an Uber was tough trying to get up in there because they were having a hard time getting in and out. Like, you better walk out the stadium parking lot just to freaking catch an Uber. That's how crazy it is.
Do Mark Cuban and Jerry Jones hang out?
I doubt it. Mark Cuban, it's an interesting story. Mark Cuban is I believe, I want to say in the next, it's either the next 5, maybe 2030, he'll be out of his lease for the American Airlines arena. Mark Cuban is pissed off because when they first started, it was Ross Perot Jr. and Mark Cuban were in a joint venture together. So what ended up happening is, this is how billionaires work. Ross Perot Jr. owns the whole side. So you have I-35 that runs north and south.
Okay.
Take you up to Oklahoma City, all the way down, I think, to San Antonio, so forth and so on. Right? 35. This side, the left side, just say we're looking south. The left side of 35, Ross Perot Jr. owns all of it. So guess what? Ross Perot Jr. is a real estate guy.
Shocker. So
he takes all of the parking. Parking at freaking for a Mavericks game is crazy. So all he did, so he builds Victory Plaza, which is all these little shops and stuff. And there's all kinds of real estate apartments just around, and you can't park there. So there's all these freaking so it's best to live there and walk to the game than it is to try to park going to a game. On the other side of 35,
north side, right side.
So the right side that would be the so you've got east.
Yeah, so
east to west, the west side.
Yeah.
Okay. So listen, Mark owns that.
Oh boy.
Mark owns all that. So he's got this little district over there. It's like a garment district and all this stuff. He owns all that. That's where the practice facility is. He's looking to build on that side. So once he gets out of the lease, he's looking to get, verification from the city to build on the other side, his side. Is that not crazy?
Like you said, that's how billionaires work.
That's how they work, man.
Because Perot, he's not a part of the ownership anymore, is he?
No. So it's like, I'm going to screw you over. I'm just going to build all these apartments and you're not going to have any parking, but you're still in this lease for this amount of time and you can't do nothing about it.
Until 2031.
Until it's time for me to move. I just thought that was a crazy thing. I remembered about that story.
That's funny. So I did look up the lease, and it was built in 2001. And it said the term of this lease shall be for a period commencing on a certain day in 2001, terminating on the 30th anniversary of the operational date. So 2031. New Maverick Stadium in 2032.
Be on the lookout.
That's hilarious. Billionaires are different, Strick. Like, I've never met one, but the stories I hear from you and the stories we see on the news, billionaires are different.
Their mentalities, they're built different, and they have their own little egotistical ways about them, right? Some of them hang out and some of them don't.
One of those billionaires that doesn't hang out, John Fisher, owns the Oakland Athletics and has completely run that franchise
into the ground.
It's ridiculous. It's so bad. Strict their records recently. So
he just don't want to win.
That's the problem. That's the problem right there. So last year they lose 102 games. 2021, they were above 500, 86 and 76. In 2020, they even managed to go above 500 in the shortened season. But there was a clear effort made after 21. John Fisher's like, I'm bored of Oakland. I don't want to be here. I don't like this core. Let's sell them all off. Let's move. And that's ridiculous because think about what Oakland's lost. They lost the Warriors to San Francisco, moved across the bay. They lost the Raiders to Las Vegas already. And now John Fisher has, I think, the lowest payroll in baseball, did have the worst record in baseball until the team decided to go on a 7-game win streak. How dare they, says John Fisher, to now have only the second worst record in baseball, the worst run differential. Strict through 70 games, they've been outscored by 200 runs.
Yeah,
that shouldn't be possible.
It's crazy. It is absolutely crazy.
And it makes me mad that these billionaires treat me. I get it. It's a business. It's a corporation.
It's a playground for them.
Explain.
It's like a toy. Like, especially when you get into that category. Now, some of the others, when they have the conglomerate, they all come together. The
it's
a little bit different.
It's
a little bit different. Yeah. But when you're really like that guy, you're the 51% guy minimum. It's like a toy, right? The toy for Mark is a little bit different than probably the toy for him, right? The toy for him is probably like, I use this because I want to write off, I don't want to pay taxes. So I want to write off, all of these losses. The team going into the tank. I just want to sit in the box, have my drinks and my little fun. And I'm the owner, and that's really it. And for a while, that was what you saw with the Clippers.
Oh my God.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm not getting off the A's. I just wanted to kind of tie in. It was a toy. It was just really something he wanted to say. It started off like that for the buses. For the early Jerry bus, it was a toy.
Okay.
But then he's like, I want he walks into the group like just think about it. It was a toy for Jerry Buss early. He goes into the group because these guys are like, just think about walking into the football ownership group and they're looking at you like, you're the outside man looking in,
whatever.
So they do Buss like that, right? They treat Buss like he's he'll be out of here soon. So then you have like all the red R-Box and all these types of guys that are winning championships, and they're like, shit. And so you get hungry now. You're like,
Jerry Buss is like, I want some of that.
Oh, okay. I'm just gonna go and beat you, and then you're gonna have to pay attention to me, right? So sometimes that happens. I don't know for the A's owner what his touch point is or the thing that makes him tick or whatever. I don't know what that is.
Clearly not winning,
but it's definitely not winning.
That's where I think treating the team like a playground does a disservice to the players whose
you gotta hate it.
It is.
Yeah.
Like if you're these players, think about what you're being told. First of all, the message is, we want to lose. We know you're not very good, which is why we want you to come play for us.
I
That's
played for that
disrespectful.
team, the Vancouver Grizzlies.
What did that do to you? How did that feel?
Listen, I gave away, and I don't advise anybody to do this, and I'll tell it.
This is go to Vancouver?
No. I don't advise anybody to do what I did to get out of there because I was so miserable. I don't advise anybody with 2 years left on their contract at almost $7 million to give it away because you were so miserable. I would just say find a way to get out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't think we had the same type of leverage back then, right? That they do now.
Right.
To you know, I probably could. I would do it different, but I had the best. Even though I got out of that contract, I got to the Boston Celtics late, but I was the happiest year that I had, even though I wasn't making the money. So sometimes it's not always about the money. I was just miserable. And so that's how you feel, bro. When you go into the arena, you're like, when you get on the plane, when you fly, it's like you just know you're about to go somewhere and take an L. You know what I mean? It sucks, bro.
This is where I think these players are in a tough situation because on the one hand, it's a lot of guys you haven't heard of before that are chasing their Major League Baseball dream. So if they put on a show, maybe they can get up out of there.
Yeah.
You know, if they get a new contract. But at the same time, you know, with that feeling of gratitude for being able to say, hey, I played in the major leagues, even if it was for, you know, an owner that didn't care, as grateful as I assume you would be to have that MLB dream being fulfilled and realized, I wouldn't be able to talk to John Fisher. You're treating me like this? You're spending this little on us? This is about you moving to Las Vegas more than about the people you're employing?
Mm-hmm.
That's selfish.
I don't want to play for
sucks.
you.
No.
But this is why people at the time when Mark took over wanted to play for him because he cared. You knew he cared. I mean, the food was different.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the facilities, things, nutritionists. I mean, you can tell he cared. So when you showed up, you're like, I'm going to run through a freaking brick wall for this guy. But when you don't, like when you got to the Clippers,
see the brick wall turn around.
Yeah, man. You didn't want to run through that thing for them. You didn't care.
The only thing John Fisher seems to care about is the new stadium, which here's the thing. If you could exactly. Again, you can say, oh, well, they're saving money to pay for the new stadium. That's why payroll's down. No. No, they just had Las Vegas vote on giving them $380 million of public funding so John Fisher wouldn't have to spend it.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's about the money. It always has been. It always will be. And they continue to get away with it.
Yeah.
Market after market, team after team. They get away with it.
It's a grift.
It sucks.
It does suck. And I feel bad for the A's players, unfortunately.
And the fans.
who
show up and support. Well, not really.
They're not showing up. So tell me about that. What is that?
Okay, so this is absolutely hilarious. The Oakland A's this season are averaging about 8,000 fans a game, 9,000 maybe. There have been 14 games this year in Major League Baseball with attendance less than 8,000. 13 of the 14 are Oakland Athletics games. Last night, the fans did something so creative, never seen it before. They did a reverse boycott, is what they were calling it. You get attendance of just about 28,000 people when you're averaging about 9. So you triple your attendance.
Fumble.
Ball security, high and tight. You triple your attendance one night. And the funny thing about this, Strick, was the 5th inning. This was planned. They were silent, drop dead silent, pin drop in for the first batter of the 5th inning. After the A's got the first out, everyone in the stadium started chanting, "Sell the team."
Wow.
Not move the team, not stay here, sell the team.
Mm-hmm.
They want John Fisher gone, and this is how they tried to do it.
Yeah.
I think it's hilarious.
Yeah. I mean, it's their way of going about it. It's the way they want to try to do it. I mean, I commend them for putting their best foot forward. So it may not come through. It may not come through for them, unfortunately. I think this marriage of Oakland is done. I think it's come to that conclusion.
It fits with the history of the A's, up and moving. But Oakland fans have had so much ripped away from them. It sucks to see it happen again.
Yeah, I would agree with you. But is something like this in the works down in just south of us about 3.5 hours, also in Kansas City. Kansas City is being slighted also for not having a concrete plan for a new stadium. I mean, we know they've got a moving plan, but is Kansas City due for a new?
I have wanted the Royals to build a new stadium. I love the K. It's a great park.
It is
if
a
they
nice little dope little look to it, but it's old.
If they could pick it up and move it downtown, that'd be great.
Mm-hmm. Location.
I think the Chiefs should want that too. Give them more space to be creative with that. I think there's a way to make it work. But for all this talk of a new stadium, again, under a new owner that came in just a couple of years ago now, wants a new stadium. That's his big thing. Hasn't picked up payroll. Team has gotten worse. They now have the worst record in baseball. They weren't even trying to do that necessarily. And you're still asking for a new stadium. Like, I want a new stadium, but it makes me hard to want to support it when the team's that bad.
Yeah.
And come to find out, you're talking with Jackson County and the city of Kansas City, and both of them are saying, you don't actually have a plan. You just say you want this, but you're not giving us anything to work with. It's even going about that wrong. It makes me sad and angry.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate, but this is also the landscape of the day when you're looking at professional sports. This is going on not just solely in baseball; it's across the board. A lot of teams are looking at this. You even have Chicago Bears that are, like, hey, we
under the direction of Kevin Warren.
Yeah, that's right. He took. Look at that. See,
president.
See, and so that's something to think about too. I mean, a lot of people are not happy about it. I mean, you had a similar type of situation where down at RFK Stadium when that happened. Now they're trying to figure out what to do down there again because that stadium is terrible.
Bad.
Philly is in a similar situation. Just a terrible, stadium, but trying to figure out how to get it done. Well, we're gonna take a break right now, and we'll get back. We'll have about a half an hour left in this wonderful day, Wednesday hump day, on the block. 93.7 The Ticket at ticketfm.com. We'll be right back after these messages.
Hi, this is Becky from Midwest Bank, and our team is here for you. From our friendly staff to our innovative products to our online banking and mobile app, all of our services are designed with you in mind. We'll help you open a checking account, apply for a loan, open a credit card, or start saving for the future. We do it all. We're your local community bank, a trusted partner that's here to serve you. Your community, your bank. Midwest Bank. Learn more at midwestbank.com. Member FDIC.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, and our big summer sales event is underway this month. Right now, get 0.9% interest rates. Yes, you heard right. 0.9% APR on select new Chevrolet and GMC vehicles, plus a $1,500 trade-in bonus on select Silverados and Sierras. You put all that together with some big Coppell discounts, and you have a tremendous buying experience. So stop on into the dealership or check us out online at CoppellCars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with approved credit.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric is the call I make when I have a need for plumbing services. Whether it's for my home or office, if I need a repair to a water heater, softener, or even my garbage disposal, I know I can count on Action to help. In one simple call, their amazing customer service team promptly schedules a service call, often getting to my needs within a day. Action delivers honest, quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red.
Hey, CNC machinists, do you feel like you're in a dead-end job with your boss hovering over your shoulder? That's so annoying. Not at Garner Industries. We provide the opportunity and trust our CNC machinists to bring the talent. I'm Bob Williams, HR Director at Garner Industries, and we're looking for new team members in our CNC department. At Garner Industries, you'll work in a clean, climate-controlled, and safe environment with team members who want to see you succeed. You will also enjoy 4-day work weeks, great benefits, and a positive working culture. Interested? Apply on our career page at GarnerIndustries.com.
Summertime is in full swing, and it's time to get to work on outdoor projects. Deck City is a great place to start as Lincoln's local source for everything decks. Deck City has everything you need to build the deck of your dreams, from treated lumber to Westbury aluminum railings and TimberTech composite decking. They offer advice from real deck professionals to give you proper guidance to make your project go smoothly. Call them today to schedule an appointment at 402-480-6671. Go online at deckcityne.com or visit their new location just north of 33rd and Cornhusker Highway. Deck City, your local deck experts.
You've driven by GE Landscape Supply countless times, likely without even knowing, at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. Now it's time to stop in. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction materials. They sell in bulk to save you money, and you can buy anything from a 5-gallon bucket to a semi-load. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere. Stop by 6701 Cornhusker Highway from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday and 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturdays. Go to GELandscapeSupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627. Tailored Life is now open in Bennett. Make the short drive down Highway 2 for tons of items for your home, for both indoors and outdoors. Check out their variety of potted trees, shrubs, vines, perennials, and colorful annuals. Plus, porch pots and landscape lighting to enhance the outside of your home. Don't forget their home goods for indoors, plus convenient drinks and snacks, most which are produced locally. Visit Tailored Life today in Bennett and stay tuned to their Facebook page at Tailored Life 360 for food truck events coming up.
Guys, it's that time again. Another 10-week challenge at Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping is starting on July 8th. I joined Farrell's a little over a year ago, and with their help, I've lost over 125 pounds and can confidently say I'm in the best shape of my life. The 10-week challenge combines kickboxing, strength training, and nutrition coaching in a way that is approachable and achievable for any skill level. And ticket listeners, you can get $150 off the cost of enrollment. Head to theticketfm.com and click on the banner on the homepage to learn more. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping at 70th and Vine or 40th and Yankee Hill.
If you're interested in installing solar panels in Nebraska, there's a name you need to know. Solar by Alpine Electric is based out of Lincoln, and you can be sure your project will be handled with care and detail because Rick, the owner of Solar by Alpine Electric, will be involved in the entire process from start to finish. We're an REC Solar Certified Pro installer and handle jobs in Lincoln and the surrounding area. Let us show you real-time results in your area. Call Rick today at 402-440-4371. Solar by Alpine Electric.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Sunny and warm for our Wednesday. We'll see a high of around 88. Winds will be light and somewhat variable. Mainly clear tonight, a low down to around 60. We will heat up even more as we get into our Thursday. Sunny, a light south wind at around 10 and a high of 93. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Still rolling along here on the block. Thanks for tuning in. For all of you commenting and on the text line, we appreciate that. A couple things to get to here, Strick. Let's see here. Longsker. I assume you were
I don't know what Longster was asking. That's why I couldn't answer.
I think he was trying to say ambidextrous.
In the batter's box?
Yes, but it came out apedestrians. So which side did you swing from?
I was wondering. Okay, I was ambidextrous, Longsker. I could hit from both sides. When I was playing for the Marlins, because I was playing in a short season, so after I was done with university or after I was done with school, I would go to short season A or spring training, or it was called extended spring. So I never got a long season of spring. And then they would want me to focus on the left side because left-handed batters, are pretty valuable. But I could hit both ways. And I did a couple times in a few games. They let me try it, but it wasn't enough time to really get the reps to do it.
Was the swing profile the same left and right for you?
Left side, I was like the left side, I could hit for power. Right side was good for bunting, running, hitting, more line drives. My probably wasn't going to hit home runs from the right side. It just my swings was more choppy, level, whereas my left side was more, with a drop to it.
Yeah,
a little loop to it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was a little bit different.
On the YouTube stream, Josh, thanks for tuning in over there. He's trying to get you to get him Crawford and Spence tickets.
It's a tough one, my boy.
I know you're a
You
big
know how much
name,
those
but those are going to be hard to pull.
You know how much those tickets were dang near sold out the minute they released them.
Mm-hmm.
And they were
sold
what
out
was
at
almost
like $2,000 a pop.
Yes, and so what was only left at one point, and this was probably a week and a half ago, was like $550 up in the nosebleeds. So, I mean, I could probably do it, but listen, let's be real. I'm gonna be real. We ain't on We Talk Facts, but I'm gonna talk some facts on the block today. To go and make that trip, that's going to be a minimum of $7,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm saying by the time you buy the ticket, by the time you get the flight, because the flights right now trying to get in there, you're looking at $700 to $1,000. Not unless you coming, depending on where you're coming from, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hotels are going to be in the $200 to $500 range. Not unless you try to go out, but then you got to get a car or you're going to do Ubers, and then you're going to, you know what I'm saying? Food, and you're looking at $5,000 to $7,000 minimum.
And that's before you hit the casinos.
That's before you hit the casinos. That's before you hit the club.
Straight up.
When you hit the club, you try to go in the Dre's or something like that, and your stand-up room only in Dre's is a couple $100. But if you try to get a table, you $5,000 to $15,000 getting. Now we have got a table before.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen what that bill looked like. It is no bueno.
Not pretty.
It is not good. It was a good night.
No,
it was a good night. Big Sean performed. So they have. If you go to Dre's nightclub, big, they have a somebody perform every night. Like there'll be times where Ludacris will perform, or sometimes Snoop, or so forth and so on. But my gosh, it ain't cheap. That's before you even go to the club.
That's insane.
And the club's going to be the services that are required at the club. Yeah. So you're minimum 5 to 7.
Keep that in mind there, Josh. So it's nothing personal. It's just the cost or lack thereof of doing business.
I don't feel like doing that. I just don't. I'm gonna sit right. I'm gonna sit right at the crib, feet up,
posted up,
with a glass of wine and some popcorn.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be a $50 night. Well, no. You pay for the pay-per-view, so pay-per-view.
$150 night.
$150 night.
Speaking of wine, Kevin was on vacation last week. Didn't come in. DP and I got margs on Friday.
Really?
Upside came in to preview UFC.
Margaritas?
So DP and I got margs.
Oh, gosh. I know they were good, too.
So good.
Oof.
Not to make you jealous. Back on Vegas, someone says, when in Vegas, I love to play Pai Gow at the Cromwell. Watch the folks lining up for Dre's.
Oh, yeah.
That means nothing to me.
Yeah. No, they going in there.
I feel like Vegas would be fantastic people watching.
It is. It is a fun place to just kind of go, and it's going to be blazing hot too. Please believe that.
Mm-hmm.
Whew, it's going to be hot.
The Super Bowl in Vegas this year
That would be
is
nice.
maybe the most hypocritical thing I've ever seen.
Why is
It's
that?
really funny. Think about the NFL players getting suspended for gambling. The 4 from the Lions, the 1 from the Commanders, Ridley last year, Isaiah Rodgers Sr. about to get the hammer on the Colts.
Is that going to be a problem for every Vegas team?
How could it not be?
Is it a problem in sports, period?
It's
That
turning
should
into
be
one.
something we need to talk about. Sauter Heyman text line 402-464-5685. Is gambling, because I mean it's trickling into the coaches
and college players.
You know what I'm saying? So is gambling a problem? Is the DraftKings or Prize Picks and all these different platforms, are they becoming a problem in college sports and professional sports? I'd love to know your thoughts on that. Hit us on the text line 402-464-5685. Love to hear your thoughts on that as well.
I'm sure it's been around more than we know on the
But
back
they
end,
used to
but
do
it's
it.
coming to light. And the leagues are now in bed with it. The leagues are promoting it.
Right.
And then slapping their players on the wrists when they do it. So I think that's an incredible lack of consistency.
I think technology has provided more of a microscopic eye to it as opposed to back in the day, right? Because you would have to catch the bookie. You would have to, because they used to put it on the paper. Yeah, when you write it on the paper, you drop it off. The boogie rolls. He hits the circuit and goes around, picks up all. It was a little bit different. So you would have to catch the bookie. You have to find out what's on the books, and then you have to track the numbers, the tracking of how you would figure out who's who on the books to be able to figure out whether or not that was Stricky on the bet.
And it was not Stricky.
And it was not Stricky.
It was not Stricky.
Stricky did not bet on the games.
Josh, another reason Strick isn't going to get you Crawford Spence tickets is because consider this the official launch of On the Block to Los Angeles 2024. Stricky wants to go to Los Angeles. I want to go to Los Angeles. We need to keep Rico home. So I am tweeting. I'm tagging Eric Strickland in this. Hashtag OTB to LA 2024.
UCLA game.
Yes. That's why we want to go. Retweet it. Show DP and Mark that Strick and I are the ones that deserve to go out to Los Angeles to cover the Husker football game in 2024. Blockheads, if you love us, you will retweet it. We would appreciate it greatly. Again, show your support for the show. We'll do shows from out there in LA. It's not vacation time for us. We'll still be working, but Strick and I deserve to go. So please retweet. Let DP and Mark know that Strick and I are going. So that's another reason, Josh, why you're not getting Crawford Spence tickets.
Yeah, we've got to save for that one. That's going to be a beautiful time. I would love to see that game out in Pasadena.
I've never been to the Rose Bowl. I mean, I don't think it'd be a fantastic, number one overall college football environment, but to say you were in the Rose Bowl to watch a series with some history like Nebraska, UCLA,
no doubt.
Yeah,
No
I want to
doubt.
go.
No doubt. No doubt. What else on the text line? What we got going?
Not a lot. Let's see. Yeah, not a whole lot. One other thing, though, on the NBA.
Oh, somebody on the text line. UFC is July 8th, July 29th. Yeah. Well, okay. That's good. That's good. It is split. Because that would have been terrible. Because last I was hearing it that they were going to happen on the same weekend. That was the last thing I had heard, and so I'm glad to hear. And look, it may be a major UFC fight, and it could be a smaller one, like maybe those. What do they call them? I don't know.
Undercard.
Yeah, like no, they have those little. They don't have the big major ones, but maybe one of those ones that are that they do just. But nonetheless, it could be
fight nights.
Yeah, one of those fight nights, maybe. I don't know, but I did hear that there was going to be a crazy night. But anyway.
Whoa. Strickland is fighting on July 1st.
Who?
It says here, Eric Strickland.
Who am I
Eric
getting
Strickland,
in with?
Against Abbas Magomedov.
That's cap.
I see it right here. See?
That's
see
cap.
it says Strickland. It says Strickland. See?
Oh, Strickland.
Better get in shape. Better get in shape. When does camp start?
I'm already in it, baby. You just didn't know.
I didn't even have your music pulled up.
It's my alter ego.
But no, it is Sean Strickland, not Eric Strickland. And it's UFC 290.
Okay.
Is what they'll be on. Looks like the headliners are Volkanovski and Rodriguez. DP would know more about that than I do.
That's a DP thing.
It really is. Good stuff. Let's take a break. We'll cross it over with the old school crew as we wrap up on the block next.
Generation V.
Opening a new location at 27th and Superior.
Generation V.
Join us this Saturday during our grand opening sale. Everything is buy one, get one free. Mix and match between Vape, Delta 8, and Kratom, or buy two of your favorites for the price of one. Buy one Elf Bar disposable, get one free. Buy premium THCA flower, get a free glass pipe. You decide what to BOGO this Saturday.
Generation V.
Don't miss the grand opening sale this Saturday at 27th and Superior in Lincoln. GenerationV.com. E-cigs contain nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and our big summer sales event is underway this month. Right now, get 0.9% interest rates. Yes, you heard right. 0.9% APR on select new Chevrolet and GMC vehicles, plus a $1,500 trade-in bonus on select Silverados and Sierras. You put all that together with some big couple discounts, and you have a tremendous buying experience. So stop on into the dealership or check us out online at couplecars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with approved credit.
Fuse box. I will probably not touch the fuse box.
Sip, do you remember what happened last time?
Yeah, I remember.
What happened?
Half of the city block lost power.
And?
My chicken condo went haywire.
That's right. The chickens ran wild. So what do we do instead?
Call Joe at Ambition Electric and let him handle everything. Look, saved on speed dial.
Ambition Electric, 402-217-3415 or online at ambitionelectric.com.
Summertime is in full swing, and it's time to get to work on outdoor projects. Deck City is a great place to start as Lincoln's local source for everything decks. Deck City has everything you need to build the deck of your dreams, from treated lumber to Westbury aluminum railings and TimberTech composite decking. They offer advice from real deck professionals to give you proper guidance to make your project go smoothly. Call them today to schedule an appointment at 402-480-6671. Go online at deckcityne.com or visit their new location just north of 33rd and Cornhusker Highway. Deck City, your local deck experts.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Attention all Wings fans. 89-cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for boneless or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 tall boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings. The weather is hot, the kids are out of school, and you're on your way to the lake and summer road trips. Are you getting to your vacation spot comfortably, or is your car letting you down? Mullen Motors lot is full of great vehicles to take home, so you don't have to worry about your current car barely surviving another road trip. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride for summer road trips and beyond. Mullen Motors.
No tag-ons, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Herrick Services takes this time to wish all the dads out there a happy Father's Day. We hope that everyone is able to show how much they care for and respect the dads in their life for this weekend especially, but in everyday life too. This important message comes to you from Bart, Mike, and the folks at Herrick Services, your vending specialists here in Lincoln. Their quality service and expertise has earned them a fine reputation. That's Herrick Services, on the air because they care. Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln and across Nebraska by offering a number of services. From group homes to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the support that allows people to live fulfilling lives. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a rewarding career supporting people with developmental disabilities, you can check out open positions along with learning more about services at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
Guys, it's that time again. Another 10-week challenge at Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping is starting on July 8th. I joined Farrell's a little over a year ago, and with their help, I've lost over 125 pounds and can confidently say I'm in the best shape of my life. The 10-week challenge combines kickboxing, strength training, and nutrition coaching in a way that is approachable and achievable for any skill level. And ticket listeners, you can get $150 off the cost of enrollment. Head to theticketfm.com and click on the banner on the homepage to learn more. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping at 70th and Vine or 40th and Yankee Hill.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports is quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
The Ticket Water Cooler.
I feel like sometimes when we have Hall of Fames, and this is no disrespect to Frank or Gary Pinkel, who got in last year, the longtime Missouri coach, shouldn't there be a different Hall of Fame for like Gary Pinkel and Frank Solich
Like
and
the Hall of
Tom Osborne
the
and Bob,
Hall of
you know,
really,
Bobby
really,
Bowden?
really, really
Yeah,
good.
right. But what, like you said, the distinction usually is first ballot, you know,
Yep.
or unanimous or whatever. So that's usually kind of the distinction that you can make there.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back here on the block one final time. Great 2 hours with Strick and myself. We welcome in Boss Man into the building. DP, what's good?
Everything's good. Everything's good. Have you shouted out young Megan?
Oh, yeah. Megan's been killing it back here.
Megan, that's what she does, man. That's what she does. Bring her in the
She
room.
does. Mhm.
Bring her in the room. I got to ask about that nose ring, though. Like, what, I got to call mom.
You don't like my nose
I
ring?
got to call mom. It's not for me to like or not like. I'm just trying to figure out, like, why.
Why? I want it to look like I put my face in a tackle box.
That just like I need to
What
know.
an answer.
Megan. I'm like, I need to know why. Like you working with a masterpiece and got crayons. What are you doing, Megan? What are we? Come on.
I'm trying to be unique, DP.
Okay. I thought you came with that, but that's okay. That's okay. We'll work on that. We'll work on that. What are we talking about?
We've talked about it a lot.
Man.
We were going to go NBA, but I'm going to actually flip this around to a little MLB, DP.
Okay.
The reverse boycott from the Oakland A's. It is such a travesty that franchise has bounced around from Philly to KC to Oakland. And Strick, I think, did a fantastic job of going through billionaires treating teams like a plaything. And it's so selfish.
Well, so I guess it was a couple of years ago. Was out on tour. Becky's nephew lives out in San Jose, so we're going to go out and visit. It was actually Golden State was in the NBA Finals, so he had never been to an NBA game before. So I grabbed tickets. We went to Golden State. Well, right next to the old Coliseum is the Oakland Coliseum, and Becky and I said, well, "What the heck? We'll go to the game. We'll go to A's game." Let me tell you how bad this was.
Oh gosh,
we walked in 30 minutes before a game. Before the gates open, bought 2 tickets, sat in the first row, seats 1 and 2 next to the A's dugout.
30 minutes before the game started.
We literally, like, I'm I'm high-fiving their batting practice coach, their hitting coach. Like, we just sitting there hanging out. I was like, so, what's the plan today? What are y'all going to do? You're going to do this? You're going to hang out? Okay, cool. The ball boy's sitting there, and he's, like, throwing baseballs over to me. He's just like, here, you need some stuff? You want anything out of the locker? Like, I said, listen, make me work harder than that. like act like this is a value. It's time for that stadium and that fan base to just divorce. Like, it's time. The owner knows it. I think Vegas just offered him $340 million. Some crazy.
Yeah,
number.
the Las Vegas, your city council, I think, voted to approve $380 million for him.
And that's just the walk-up number. That's not real estate. That's not branding deals and all of that other sorted. It'll end up being it'll be upwards of $1 billion just to move it to Vegas and sit it next to the spaceship that is the Raiders' new stadium, and to give Las Vegas another toy to play with. And of course, I don't know, I think there'll be some sports books.
May or may not be.
Involved. So it's time.
Is it better or worse that this has been so drawn out over the last 5-ish years, or was it more painful for what, like, the Ursays did taking the Colts from Baltimore?
I don't know what I would prefer. I was there for the first snatching of the Colts from Baltimore. I'm old enough that
The Senators moving out to Texas, something like that.
Oh, let me tell you, the Senators being snatched out of DC murdered me, man. I didn't understand it. Like, well, why? Like, why are you doing this? In the last game at RFK Stadium, the fans jumped the fence, and they were just tearing up field and chairs. And I'm a kid just going, I don't know what this is, but this ain't good. Like, this is not, like, is this is this supposed to happen? And all I had was Uncle going, time to go. I got to get out of here. And then you're watching your heroes put on somebody else's costume.
Yeah.
The Colts, they did it overnight, but I remember this is in the day of 4 channels, right? Them breaking the news and going, hey, I know normally we're watching reruns, but the Colts are moving. Like the trucks are at the stadium and they didn't tell anybody. I don't know what would happen. Think about it this way. If Nebraska football decided it was going to move, what would it do to the community in the state?
Yeah, that's a great analogy.
It doesn't matter where it moves to, or
Well,
just that it moves at all.
That it moves at all. Like if you decided to move Memorial Stadium to Kearney, folks would be like, wait a minute.
Right.
You messing with, their livelihoods, there's, routine, their business agreements, their all of that. And the fan base, you forget about the people. The reason why any of this matters is the people. And business, when you choose business over the people, it always sucks. It always sucks. There's like 4 people who are happy who make money.
That's the thing. There are people involved on the business side as well. And that's where I think this is better for the business people since they've seen this coming. The writing's been on the wall. So I'm sure those 4 people in business are happy.
That's it.
And that's it.
That's it. It's a small group. And that's how it is. That's how it is in the world of today.
Well, the new folks in Vegas are happy. The new folks in Vegas are happy. They're like, there are folks, and get this, there are people who are going to move with this team because they will be taken care of.
Like that. That's dope. I do want to clear the air. Unnamed texter says 2 of them. One says he clarified and gave the answer for fight night. But one 1590 said there is a July 29th UFC. They do have a big fight there. So I knew I was.
Salt Lake City.
Huh?
In Salt Lake City.
There's a fight.
It's not in Vegas.
It's not in Vegas. Okay. And
come on, man. You know where I'm gonna be.
Well,
back with your top people.
I might be with you.
Hey, I'll be right there. I'll be right there in Salt Lake City.
So yeah, that's a couple of things. One other thing, DP, is we talked about just how teams and organizations are just stricken by the plays of the owners, right? Like for example, just how when you go into there's 2 parts to it. One, when you go into an expansion situation, when you're a new team that's going into a new city, how the players respond sometimes about getting put into that situation, sometimes taking it mentally not well, because they're just like, well, this team, I've been with them, they don't care about me, they put me on the chopping block. There's that feeling. But then there's that other feeling similar to what the A's are, right? Where you either get drafted by this team or you're on this team, and it just seems like the team just doesn't give a flying, you know what, and the mentality that it can place on a player while they're there.
Well, so I've been on several sides of it. Being in Charlotte, when you get brought into Charlotte when they get an expansion team. So 94, I'm in DC, like I'm covering the Redskins. They get a new team in Charlotte. I get a phone call. Hey, can you get that? We got a show. We need somebody. Can you get down here? Will you move? Okay, go do that. You find out what that is. Push that forward 2 years to when George Shinn is absolutely 100% George Shinn, facing more lawsuits than we know what to do with because he doesn't know how to behave himself.
Same as Snyder,
right?
Similar.
Daniel Snyder and the Commanders. But they move the Hornets to New Orleans. They become the Pelicans. Well, they were the New Orleans Hornets for a bit. But those players, they had we all lived in the same neighborhood.
Yeah.
Well, the neighborhood's out. It's just, what it was the wives were still in Charlotte, but the players were in New Orleans.
Yeah.
And that's the Bobby Phills, David Wesley, Matt Geiger run. But that's what happened. Charlotte was left. There were businesses that was just left. The players, they hated it because you're Charlotte now. You're a resident. You live here. Your kids are in school. Like your family is connected. But then you're moving to New Orleans. And New Orleans don't know how to act because they got a new team for the first time. They got an NBA team. New Orleans acted a fool.
Yeah.
Like it was crazy. The players had to step back and go, whoa, I can't do this. I can't party with y'all the way you want to party. I can't engage the way you want to engage. So either side of it, there's always some shenanigans. If the owner is leaving, if he's treated well and doing good business, he's not leaving. There's a cause to owners wanting to leave. If it becomes a bleeder system where you're just losing money and you can't make it up. But in today's major television sports, it's really hard to
bleed off.
To bleed off.
Mm-hmm.
It's really hard. You have to work exceptionally hard at just being bad at business in order for that to happen. So you ask the question, you go along through it. Not a fan of it, but I understand the business. I think expansion better than relocate.
Yeah, relocate.
Expansion is better for everybody
involved.
Relocating, if you're the Cleveland Browns, come on, you've been through it on every side. Neither one was good.
Let's pause 10 seconds for ID. We'll be back with a little more after this.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. The home of Kansas City Royals baseball. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
I won't pretend to know a lot about California. Only stopped there once at the San Francisco airport. But what I hear out of Oakland is a bunch of passionate fans that love their teams for the most part. And they've had a lot taken away from them. The Raiders move to Vegas. Oakland gets the A's. Now they're looking to bounce. The Warriors move across the bay, which might be the biggest sin, to go from Oakland to San Francisco. I just feel so bad for that sports city.
I get that, but if all of your relationships end in divorce, it might be you. It might be you.
A great point.
It might be you. Listen, it's a big area. And there's a lot of cultural things going on.
Yeah.
The spacing of it is weird. The Bay is considered culturally, it's one thing. It was always cooler than everybody else. I mean, Oakland and San Francisco used to be the coolest spot of all of them before Los Angeles got into it. And as the leagues migrated to California, it was preferred to be in the Bay than LA proper. Same for San Diego. Like you make those choices.
So sad for San Diego. That's just a good town.
Right. And it's going to waste. I mean, the Clippers tried it there. It didn't work. The Conquistadors tried it there. The Chargers tried it there. You're close to Mexico, which always ends up hurting you.
Yeah.
But California has its own thing. It's so spread out. It's like Texas. You don't see pro football teams. The NFL can't go to San Antonio. It thinks it can, but it not really.
No.
You can't really do that. So, and Oakland is just a different place. You cross the bridge. It's like the difference that the imaginary wall between Lincoln and Omaha. Well, multiply it by 20 times, and that's Oakland and San Francisco / San Jose. Like, it's just a little different. It's all spread out. Colleges there have some leverage as well. And then culturally, I mean, you got to think the A's were cool. If you go back to the 70s A's, they were cool, but they had to earn it. Like they had empty seats. Think about this. They had empty stadium until you got Reggie Jackson and Vita Blue. Like, you have to go that hard.
We don't talk enough about Vita Blue.
Like, you have to get, Jim Catfish Hunter, Joe Rudy, that Sal Bando, like, the A's were the team, and they had superstars from 1 through 9, and they still didn't fill the building until they started winning. Like, San Francisco had Willie Mays and Willie McCovey and Orlando Cepeda, and you weren't full? Oh, you needed Barry Bonds to hit 73 home runs before you care? Oh, my goodness gracious. Like, what are you doing? So, again, it went through with 49ers. Candlestick was in a weird place. The new stadium is even in a stranger place. It's kind of like in the middle of a mountain. It's like a weird kind of thing. It's tough for space, tough for real estate, and it's tough to get folks to unify unless you're A1 top of the game. There are days when you played in Gold State where it wasn't full.
Hardly nobody.
It wasn't like that.
That joint.
It wasn't like that.
It was like Atlanta of the West. It really was.
It wasn't like that. And those are bad places to play when your team's not good because the buildings aren't full. And old Candlestick, when it wasn't full, it was terrible.
Yeah.
It was terrible. It was
That was right there on the water. Windy as a mug.
It was windy and it was damp, like it was raining, even if it wasn't. Like it was just terrible. So yeah, look, some of it's the area. There's stuff going on culturally. all the music comes out of that space. So there's other stuff going on. I mean, it's one of the places you can go and get, everything you want at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
There's too much going on. Too much space.
Vegas is the right business move. There's a lot of money in it. Is it the right baseball move? Is that the right spot for this team to go?
I mean, being that they have spring training, a lot of the stuff there, it can support it, but is it the move?
I would have said no, except for I've been to their minor league team, the 51s play, and the crowd support is legitimate.
Yeah, it's legit.
Like, it's legit. You think Vegas? First of all, it's 938 degrees every
freaking
right?
day. Don't play day games,
right?
Lord.
So why you want to do it? We went to a Sunday game, and I thought the devil was sitting next to me with a fan. Like, I was like, bruh, what are we doing? Like, we need to make better decisions. Like, this is terrible. We out here.
Did they put a dome in?
Well, that's the question for what you would do if it was my team in Vegas. Oh, we dome it.
Dude, dome. It needs some air conditioning in this.
We dome it. Houston is the perfect. The old Astrodome, Minute Maid Park.
That's retractable.
That's retractable. But my favorite thing about all my time in Houston was that if you went to a sporting event, I mean, yeah, it's 100 degrees, but it's 70 indoors, and I never had to worry about rain, snow, sleet, heat, nothing. You can dress how you dress and go to a ball game. So if I'm Vegas, put a dome on it and call it a day.
Just simpler.
Yep.
Absolutely. Good stuff on the block today. What's coming up on Old School?
I got the Locked On Big Ten media folks sent out their list of the Big Ten for football. And I need to give it to Jay Foreman just for grins and giggles, because they ranked the quarterbacks, they ranked the coaches, they ranked the fan base, they ranked offensive defenses. I need to give it to y'all. This is I almost fell over backwards in my chair reading this thing, man.
That's awesome. That's coming up on Old School 4 to 6 here on 93.7 The Ticket. Strick and I will talk some NBA movers and shakers. Got some pieces potentially on the move a week before the draft. We'll start diving into that. Megan, thanks for sitting in. We'll be back in just a couple minutes here with Old School. For Strick, for Megan, for DP, I'm Austin. Talk to you on the block tomorrow.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
John Henry's Plumbing, heating and air.
When it comes to your home or business, we know you have options, and that's why John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning gives you just that. Options. We have plumbing, heating, and cooling memberships to serve all of your residential and commercial needs. We want to ensure you, your family, and your business are safe. Visit our website, jhlincoln.com, to find out more or call us at
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, heating and air.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese Beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock, or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Our Remington Homes has really expanded and taken off in the last 5 years.
Bob Benish of Aspen Builders, talking about their exciting new division, Remington Homes, which makes the home building process easier and more affordable.
The exciting thing about a Remington home is you get to choose your floor plan from predetermined floor plans. You can select your options. We give you a lot of choices. By selecting certain floor plans, they're just easier to build. And you couple that with our great lot selection in all different areas. People do not want to be married to their house payment. They want to get a nice house with nice finishes in a great area for an affordable price. And that's what Remington Homes are all about.
Home building is easier with a Remington home from Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at remingtonlincoln.com. remingtonlincoln.com.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Summertime is in full swing, and it's time to get to work on outdoor projects. Deck City is a great place to start as Lincoln's local source for everything decks. Deck City has everything you need to build the deck of your dreams, from treated lumber to Westbury aluminum railings and TimberTech composite decking. They offer advice from real deck professionals to give you proper guidance to make your project go smoothly. Call them today to schedule an appointment at 402-480-6671. Go online at deckcityne.com or location just north of Cornhusker. Deck City. Yours.
Food is Lincoln's